Welcome back, Benchwarmers, to another. I love the way that this is how I always take it off. Like
Another.
another one.
Fuck.
Another fantastic episode. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode last that we had with the EPO Boys podcast. If you did not, you can definitely catch that on our podcast, on our YouTube channel, all that good stuff, which we will give you in a second. So shout out to the EPO Boys podcast. Thank you guys for joining us, and we look forward to anybody else who wants to come join the bench. But before we let you know where you can find all that good stuff, I am one of your hosts, Eric the Instigator.
My name is Nico.
Nick,
Interrupter Marco.
did you forget your name for a second?
Huh? No, I was wondering if you were gonna start. Oh, we don't know what to call Nick, so I was gonna let you go through that first and then interrupt you.
I was saying Nico Nick, but he said Nico as Nick, so Nico Nick. So
Hey, that's Nick. All right.
yeah, okay, cool, thanks. So if you want to give us a follow, all that good stuff, Nick, what are our socials so they can do all that fun stuff?
You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Benchwarmers FC1.
Awesome. Make sure you guys leave us a comment on Benchwarmers on the Instagram. We actually do go live from time to time. So if you want to interact there, please follow us there, and we'll definitely let you know when we do go live. What is our Twitch?
Benchwarmers FC.
Nice. Marco, where can they hear us?
They can listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher by searching Bench Warmers FC.
And if you don't have any of those, let us know which one we're missing so we can jump on that one as well. Please leave us a review and a comment on those platforms because it does help out tremendously. Again, without you, we wouldn't be here. And one more thing, Marco, where can they watch us? Where can they hit the subscribe, the little notification bell, ding, 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 and know when we do some special live events. When we do 'em.
You can watch us on YouTube at Bench Warmers FC TV.
Awesome. I think that's it, right? And the email. But, I mean, besides spam,
BenchWarmersFC.com.
there you go. I think we're good for kickoff. Ready, guys?
Go for it.
Let's do it. All right. So today we're going to do it a little bit in reverse. De reversa, mami. De reversa. All right. We're going to kick it off with the game that happened just today, which was Arsenal hosting Crystal Palace on Vieira's imminent return, which was, I don't know, spoils for who at the moment. But let's get into the game briefly. The game ended 1-1. I'm sorry, not 1, 2-2. I'm drunk.
I was about to say,
You drunk? You drunk?
I was just like,
Did you and I watch the same game?
I don't even know anything about the game, honestly. But Aubameyang scored it off in the very, I think, first 5-10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful kick from Pepe, but then after that, they just went stagnant. They just wanted to settle and just play the result. Wasn't what I wanted to see, but Marco, I know you're a big fan of. You're a big Lacazette in right now.
Yeah, mostly this past year and a half that I've been seeing Obama not be there, not be always present. Yes, he scored a goal today, but his inconsistency this past season and the beginning of this one has pushed me more towards liking to see Laka more involved. I know you agree with me, but you also told me, I mean, you have been saying that he won't have that many opportunities this season. Mostly because he most likely is out next season.
Yeah.
And why give an opportunity to somebody that's not going to be here next season? Might as well try and find the Aubameyang's form.
Yeah.
But said all that, I'd still like to see Laka. The way that he walked into this game specifically, he walked in, wanted to score goals, wanted to take walk away with the victory. And I mean, he gave us at least 1 point.
Yeah, so he did salvage the game at the very end by scoring that goal. That was just a lot of chaos in the box. But
It was fun. It was funny to watch.
it was fun to watch. Yeah, it was nerve-wracking to watch, of course.
It felt like it was one of those that we've seen it so many times, but not for us, and we finally got to see ourselves, and we walked away with the goal.
Yeah. But to your point, this wasn't a game where I think we lost 2 points. This is more we saved 2 points because Crystal Palace definitely had the better of us in this game. I think they dominated the midfield, which is what Vieira is actually implementing into that team. And they didn't have Zaha or Eze, these young players that are really making a big name for themselves. And not Zaha specifically, but Eze. But Gallagher, huge player, man.
He's good, man.
Wow.
He's really good.
Very, very. He was all over the pitch, man. And I was surprised to see how attackive and how pressy Crystal Palace were. because they're known to be a sit back and counter team. But to see him come out and actually possess the ball, like I mean, after Arsenal scored that goal, like Crystal Palace they just had complete control, and they just couldn't. Arsenal couldn't find it. You said it in the beginning before we started recording. Party was not looking good today, but I think that's where Arteta kind of went wrong. And
You think he got it wrong today?
I think he got it wrong today.
On like everything, or
No, not on everything. On Odegaard, putting him next to Party because I don't know what the instructions were there, but it looked kind of like Odegaard kind of kept getting sucked into a different holes in the field, leaving Party completely alone, and then you just saw them just completely overwhelm him and just come down our throats each single time. I mean, one of the goals came down right down the middle. What's his name? Sambi lost the ball unfortunately because it's a different game. It's a lot faster. He's younger. He's still getting used to the league, but this you gotta step up. You can't. You see one counterattack from the attacking third, all of a sudden you're conceding a goal. That's a Premier League for you. It's end to end, fast, quick. It's a matter of seconds, and you get there.
You mentioned like Party was kind of left alone because of like Odegaard getting pulled out. I mean, at Atletico, he wasn't really like a true DM.
He wasn't. He was more like the partner to the DM.
Exactly, like
He'd be
he'll
the
break a
box to
play.
box. Yeah, exactly.
And since he's not really a DM, when you put him in a DM position with not really like another center mid who can actually help out more, I mean, it's just.
And this is where it always comes down to the man that everybody hates to bring up, but
Ex-Haka?
talk about him.
But we often miss him.
Ex-Haka?
Ex-Haka. It sounds like a broken record.
Yo, what's that Thanos quote? Where did that bring you back?
Something, but it brought you back to me or something.
Yeah.
Like, dude, at the end of the day, like, I get that we want to move past this to pivot and kind of be more attack and have more players up on top of the field, more attacking. But what Xhaka brings in is just
Stability.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, stability, balance, distribution, and allows Party to break up play, be more free to roam the pitch, more expressive. Xhaka is gonna stick to his role, and again, we miss him, man. I hate to.
He's injured, right?
He's injured. Yeah, he's out for the rest of the year. Maybe hopefully be back maybe by January, but that's hopeful.
Jeez.
So yeah, man, and Martinelli came in today, looked lively, looked energetic. He's the kind of player I was telling you, Marco, before, is that when he has the ball, he wants to fucking take somebody on. And there was a moment.
He took two. He was taking two on at the end.
And all the fans, help him, man. They were yelling. You could hear
he was by himself. He had a pass, but it was like wasted pass. It was like pushing it all the way back.
Yeah, so he was trying.
Like,
he was trying. I'm like, see, this is the kind of player that I want on the field. If not, at least throw him as a sub every game. Like he's barely been playing.
Yo,
sucks.
What's his best position? Like, cause
Martinelli?
like sometimes when I see him
started
play,
as a striker, but
yeah,
then he moved to left wing, and then he said it. I remember him saying that he liked playing as a left wing because he started. I mean, he came in as a striker.
So he's not a striker. No, they want to make him a striker.
They want to make him a striker.
They want to
because
convert him into.
What
a striker.
I remember is he came in as a striker, but he liked playing on the left because that's where they started throwing him. And he's like, I prefer playing on the left now because I get more freedom.
So he's not a striker. They're trying to convert him into a striker. He's supposed to take over Aubameyang, which is what the whole idea that Arteta's building him for. But I like him on the wing.
He's good on the
I
left.
like him on the wing. As I actually, like you said, Saka for you is always on the right.
Yes.
I agree with you. Saka should be on the right. Pepe, although he did have a big contribution to this game, which was the goal, and honestly the second goal too, because he's the one to put it back into the box.
Correct.
I still would want to see Saka more on the right because I feel like he's more effective, and I'd want to see Martinelli on the left. Martinelli on the left, Alba in the middle, Odegaard and Emil Smith-Rowe and Party.
So what's up with Arteta? Is he not giving Martinelli the chance, or is Martinelli just not playing as well when he does get a chance? Or
so, in his last performances, well, he did pick up a minor injury before this game, so I don't know if he was supposed to start or not, but he did. Fortunately, he did play today. But prior to this, Marco has been saying this since before. He should have gone on loan, which what a lot of Arsenal fans are saying. But I don't know why he's not getting the opportunities. It's definitely because we don't have Europe. obviously that's a huge factor for us.
Yeah.
FA Cup, Carabao Cup are the only opportunities where these players are going to get any playing time. Arteta has, from his most recent interview that he did prior to this game, he's been a huge advocate for Martinelli, saying that he's going to be, he's just keep an eye out for him. Like, don't, relax. He's going to be come out. But Martinelli's, I've been reading he's getting eager to start playing. Like he wants to start playing now. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I don't think he should get loaned out just because again you see Xhaka, we're already missing like a huge player. If we get an injury up top, who do we have next? We have to have backup there.
I also feel that specifically with Martinelli, we're already. I mean, I'm not trying to read Arteta's mind, but in my eyes, it looks like he has so much youth in the team, and throwing another, I don't want to say, in this sense, unexperienced player that doesn't have that much knowledge of the Premier League. It's hard because he's already doing Saka, he's already doing Smith Rowe, now Odegaard, and then Zombie, and the back. So throwing Martinelli in is like, oh, come on, like, are you?
The balance
it's too much. That's why you had to put the Obama in. That's why they had to put even Pepe. Pepe has experience in the French league, but he has at least a year under his belt, a consistent play a year with Arsenal. So I think that's why he might not be throwing Martinelli that much into the game. It sucks. Yes, I would love to see him more, but I understand why he's not doing it, at least not yet.
Yeah, I mean that could be very well. He's a very young team, like you said,
extremely young, bro. Everything. If you just putting all those players together, like they all are around 20, 21 years old.
Yeah.
The young bucks, right?
Yeah.
So it's I think it's too young, and I think he needs to put at least one or two player experience. And now that Xhaka is not going to be there for until January, where do we have the experience?
No.
Our back four, very young. Who's the oldest one? Obama all the way up top. So you have to keep at least at least one other player that's has experience on the field, and that's why Martinelli is not, in my eyes, not getting that much playtime right now.
That's a very, very fair point.
Is every player bar Party and Aubameyang a U23 basically?
Pepe is 25 or 26.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the year older one.
Yeah, I believe Tierney's 24 or 23, and then it's 22 and below.
Yeah,
that's really young.
I think Party's pretty old.
Yeah. Party's like 28, 29 now, roughly. So Party was another one, again, rough game today, but I don't want to talk too much about Arsenal, but that game ended 2-2. Vieira did not have the return home that he wanted. He looked very, very heartbroken at the very final whistle after that Lacazette goal.
But I mean,
sad
still,
to see, but I'm happy for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, still, Crystal Palace had a hell of a performance.
We could have gone 1 point behind the quote-unquote title contenders in United, but
we'll get to them soon.
And then next we have the new first games to take over for Newcastle United, which ended 2-3 Spurs way. Unfortunately for them, it wasn't their day. Also on some other bad news, but also somewhat good news. There was a cardiac arrest in the stands, but a Newcastle fan who's also a doctor saved the guy's life apparently, and he's in stable condition. Last I read, so prayers out for you, and props to that Newcastle fan, man. And again, Julian and Dyer for actually running to the ref, telling him, "Hey, look, there's something going on in the stands. We gotta stop the game." So credit to those players for actually doing that. Again, this goes beyond football. So
and with things like that, it's always about time.
Yes.
Time is like so key with things like that because I mean every second counts.
Every second counts. So then now they're really pushing to have defibrillators throughout the stadium. So because if you saw one of the Spurs trainers ran across the pitch to give a defibrillator to the guy, but apparently he was fine by then. So
it's funny that they just started implementing those. I believe the person from NBC was saying it started in about 10 years ago. Was the first one because the time there was a player that went down and they didn't have one on hand, and it was a struggle. The player, I believe, did survive, but since then they're encouraging everybody to have one in the stadium.
I forget who was telling me. It might have been you or somebody was telling me that they know somebody who was involved in the creation of the defibrillators that are used throughout football.
Oh,
really?
That was definitely not me.
Somebody told me. I forget who it was, but it's pretty awesome that they do that.
And this is like extremely off topic, but a couple people came into my school the other week. They're like survivors from this fire that happened in New Jersey, in university, and they're mentioning how sprinklers weren't like a law to be implemented into dorm rooms, and so now they are. So it's like it's kind of sad to see something has to happen in order to implement
mean,
safety.
change.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just part of like life and history.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
We don't see it happen until it happens, and then we're like, how do we fix it so it doesn't happen again?
Unfortunately, the people
Those
who
small
happen
things,
to
yeah,
get fucked. But,
yeah.
you know, that's unfortunately what happens in life. All we can do is pray for the best. Steve Bruce is still in the job. They were chanting for him to go. And as we were reading beforehand, in order for him to go, the reason why Mike Eschy was on a standoff with him is because they got to pay him $8 million to leave. Mike Eschy was obviously not invested into the club. He wasn't going to pay him $8 million to get rid of Steve Bruce. But these new owners, that's pocket change for them. Why is Steve Bruce still there? And how long do you give him, first of all?
Well, Margo.
Oh, well. Can I go first?
Okay.
No. So in my head, it's more like, do they have who's going to replace him? Do they want to go in an interim route, or do they have the confidence to keep him until, let's say, winter transfer, and hopefully not have Newcastle be in the relegation zone, and then pick who's going to be his replacement, give him a couple bucks to bring a couple players in the winter transfer window.
Steve Bruce, or the new guy?
No, the new guy.
Okay.
And then move from there. Because if you change them now, it's I think it's too quick, and you don't know what kind of game do you want to see Newcastle play.
So
it really depends on how you want to see him play, and how far do you want to see him go in the next couple years. That's who you have to pick, and what options are there out there right now.
So for you, the project doesn't start until January.
I want to say, yeah, you keep him around till January, or in my eyes, they keep him around till January, hoping that he will not let Newcastle fall in the relegation zone, and then sack him there and bring in somebody that will help this team grow in the next couple years.
I feel like I'm the opposite, to be honest. I feel like if I'm a Newcastle, well, I'd sack him now just because, like, it's not even I'm trying deep into it that much. He's just not a good manager. He doesn't really bring anything. And you know what's crazy too is that, like, you mentioned the Newcastle fans chanting "Get out, get out." It's really crazy because they know he's gonna get sacked, but they're chanting "Get out, get out" like right now.
They want him to quit. They want him to leave.
Do you think it's harsh, like those chants?
I think it's.
They're blinded by the money. That's what it is.
No, other than blinded by the money, they've been blinded by the neglection they felt for
for a very
years.
long time. Yeah.
So I don't think it's harsh for them to feel that way. I feel worse for Steve Bruce because he doesn't want to be there either.
No, that was my question. Harsh for like.
Oh, for him?
Yeah.
Of course, he doesn't want to be there.
Nobody wants to be booed.
In my opinion, he knows his days are numbered. He knows that any day now he's gonna get the call like, hey, you know what? Here's your pay cut. Thank you for participating. Goodbye.
Here's your $8 million.
And he's not gonna quit. One, he's not. Who's gonna resign? First of all, can't think of the last person besides Arsene Wenger to resign, like legitly. He's just not. He wants to leave just as bad as they want him out of there, but they just don't have anybody to replace him. And to Marco's point, if you go the interim route, you risk the possibility of, you know what the floor is with Steve Bruce. You don't know what the floor is with an interim. You can go even further down below. It could be a basement to this floor that you're not even aware about. At least Steve Bruce gives you this stability that, all right, you know what? He can manage to get something, but right now he hasn't managed anything. They're still winless in the Premier League. So it's if you're a Newcastle fan, congratulations on getting rid of Mike Ashley, but I don't think this project starts
not until next year.
Not till next. If they get relegated this year, well, maybe 5 years, so you see them, actually.
That's what they have to prevent.
Everybody.
They have to prevent getting relegated this season, so they can start it off.
That's their number one goal this season, is do not get relegated. So we'll see. I don't know. I have no idea what route they're gonna go. I'm still interested to see who's gonna go there. Brendan Rodgers said no. Apparently, Mourinho recently came out saying he has some kind of connection to Newcastle.
What the hell?
Bullshit. Oh, sir, when you saw that dollar sign over the city, you automatically thought, oh, maybe you'll go back to the Premier League. But no, we'll see. I don't know, man.
I cannot see Mourinho fucking Newcastle, bro.
I actually can see him because of the money, but fucking Dr. Evil ass motherfucker. But that's Newcastle versus Spurs. Spurs won 3-2. Harry Kane did get onto the scoring sheet. So I think it's his first goal in the Premier League.
Yeah, his first goal.
Yay. Whatever. I'm sorry, if you're a Spurs fan, yay.
As you wear in our sweater.
Brentford versus Chelsea. This was our pick of the weekend,
Yes.
and rightly so, because this game, although it ended 1-0 to Chelsea's way, it shouldn't have gone that way. It was. Look, stats don't lie, but these stats definitely did lie because XG had Chelsea at 0.25, Brentford at 1.42. Sorry, 6.2. Yet they still lost. Nick, I know you had to agree with what Paul Scholes said in where the fact that Mendy had a bailout Chelsea just emphasizes the fact that Chelsea's defense isn't as good as we all think they really are.
I just think, like especially on this game, I just think they just didn't defend well, and it's all credit to especially Mendy. I mean, that's what a goalkeeper's job is, to block the shots that he's facing. So, in my opinion, it's just this game, where they didn't look good defensively, in my opinion, at all. I mean, I mentioned like Brentford hit the post 2 times, and Mendy pulled out some ridiculous saves, bro. But also Chelsea had Chalobah and Sarr playing, so it's not like they had Rudiger or Thiago Silva playing. So yeah.
Okay, so basically some young bucks, they're allowed some errors, I guess. And Mendy's, like you said, it's his job. He's arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now, and rightly so. He deserved it. Marco, I wanted to ask you, how do you think? We briefly spoke about this beforehand, about how Brentford approached their recruitment and everything. It's very for those of you who haven't seen the movie Moneyball, which I haven't either, but I get the concept of it. It's pretty much all based around statistics. It's not like individual performances. Like this guy may have 10 goals, but he has horrible passing stats, horrible defensive stats. So what Brentford are doing are actually going that route where they want to look at the statistics of the individual, how well they pass the ball progressively. This, then the other. They don't look for like the big names that just score goals. So they're looking to it looks like to overall increase the performance. How do you feel this recruitment is working out for them? And just to kind of give you more insight, if I'm not mistaken, the owner is a ex-gambler, professional gambler.
I
So he's
don't think
all about.
anybody stops.
Yeah, you got good. Could be. So
we should talk to JD on this.
put the number down below.
We'll figure it out.
The hotline.
Honestly, I mean, I don't see a problem with it because everybody sees the sport that they're going for differently, right? Some people want to see it tactically, some want to see it defensively, in this case, they see it as a stat. They see, okay, I don't care about the flair. I don't care about the tricks that the people can do. I care about how much he can produce on every game. If he has 7.1 or above in every single game, if he's giving 100%, if his passes are 90 plus, if his defense, if he takes down or defensively, it's the tackles per game, stuff like that. If they're interested in that, then of course we're never going to see a big name there, but we're going to see consistent players in that team. And I don't see it being a bad thing because there's always has to be one team that sees something different. There's going to have to be always one team that comes in with something new that maybe other teams will implement. We saw it specifically with Pep when Pep came into the league, how the league changed little by little, right? Tiki-taka and stuff like that. Now, this coming in, people are starting seeing that it works. And if it works, then we'll start seeing that we're no longer going for Ronaldinho because we were talking about him. We're no longer going for Ronaldinho. We might go for somebody like you were just talking about this kid, number 7 for Aston Villa. He's consistent, but he's not a big star. But he has consistency in his team.
Just to clarify, we will still go for Ronaldinho. We're just saying that.
No, of course. I would forever go, but like they might not she's like, okay, the Ronaldinho might not be there every single game.
Like the
This
Ronaldinho
kid is
before he's
there.
Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
Like the player that before he's a big name. Like,
I
they want-
put Ronaldinho as
just wanna
just
make
as,
sure.
as a
I
reference
don't,
or
want
just
people, I don't
an
want people to
idea.
come at you for saying something.
But for
It's
comparing
alright, it's
Ronaldinho to
fine.
John McGinn.
Yeah, I don't
No,
want
no,
you.
no. I mean,
I know
no.
what you meant.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they knew what you meant, so I didn't want you to get heat for that.
I mean,
I
don't
wanted to
care
back you
about
up there. I understood what you meant though.
But yeah, so they're looking for the consistency. That's the route that they're gonna take, and let's see if it works more than a season.
So there's definitely literature out there. Can't say my words right now. Based around football and stats right now, how it's becoming a lot stat based specifically.
I mean,
And-
we read them with the XG
no,
and all that
yeah,
stuff.
but
and
now
it's
it's
more.
even getting deeper now.
Yeah.
Like for example, today I listened to a podcast and they were explaining how many sprints a player does. You know those little the
Mhm.
things they wear. They
A lot of players are
count-
wearing still things
Yeah.
in the back.
Yeah, so they count how many sprints they do, and they track how much they're breathing throughout those sprints to see if it's dropped, to see if they tackle faster, to see if they tackle. It's insane how detailed they're getting now. Like, let's say for example, I made a sprint like 10 seconds ago, and then I had to make a recovery there, and I didn't get there. If I didn't make that sprint, would I had the energy to have gotten there? So if that's the case, I have to work out more. Like that. That's how deep they're getting. It's some crazy stats that they're getting into now. But yeah, football is turning into somewhat like I'm not gonna say baseball because baseball to me is a very boring sport where you just
RBI.
I don't know what that means first of all. Where you just stand around with a stick and you can be out of shape and still be a professional athlete. But I mean credit to those players. I can't do what they do. But it's becoming that route where it's a lot of stats, individual stats. So yeah, Moneyball, definitely watch it. I'm gonna watch it because now I'm very intrigued as to the route that football's taking.
I wonder what sport has the most like statistical.
It has to
You
be
think baseball?
I think it has to be baseball.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's so it's so individual. It's not like a team thing, like it's a pitcher and it's the whoever
The
at
batter.
bat. So it's not like I'm not worried about the outfield guy. I gotta hit the ball. I gotta make sure I get it on the field. So I think it's more baseball. I mean, no, I'm sorry, more baseball. Anything else? So that's Brentford versus Chelsea. Chelsea take the 3 points away from Brentford. I already spoke about that game. Man City versus Burnley. The only reason we bring this game up is because Matt and I lost a bet where the possession was 70% to Man City and 20. How's that mean? That doesn't mean 9%.
No, it'd be 71 to 29.
Yeah, 71. Yeah, what the hell?
70?
This is 70. Well, that's what I'm looking at here. Let me go to one football app. If they fucked up, then I'm gonna call them out right now.
The thing is that it's lower than 80.
Oh no, I fucked up. 71-39. Okay, my bad. So yeah, we lost the bet. So we gotta do a TikTok trend. But Man City did win that game 2-0. Big news out of that game. Sterling is apparent, not out of that game specifically, but around the camp is that Sterling is possibly looking at a move away from Man City because of his lack of playing time. If so, just quickly, where should he go? Or where do you think he's gonna go?
I think he should go to Arsenal.
He's linked
That'd be tough there. I can't lie.
because Arteta and Sterling have a good relationship.
Do they?
Sterling,
How?
Sterling came out saying that Arteta helped him develop in his career.
Oh, because our title was.
Yeah,
Forgot about
he was
that.
very involved in his development. So there is a strong connection there. Marco, would you want to see Sterling at Arsenal?
I wouldn't mind seeing him
He's
there.
another
but
veteran.
I really, yeah. I don't mind seeing him there.
He's still young. I think he's like 26.
26, 27 around
Yeah.
there. And on top of that, they get. I mean, he's a baller. Can't take away from him. So we'll see what happens with Sterling in the coming month because January's around the window and that's when the rumors are.
We want to know how long does he still have on his contract? Because how much more would we have to cough up for him?
I don't know.
I feel like Sterling has always been, his mind has always been going somewhere else because a couple years ago,
A journeyman kind of thing, or like just
he wouldn't mind going abroad because a couple years ago he went for like this reporters. He had a Real Madrid jersey and a Man City jersey on each shoulder, and it was like he talked to them about Real Madrid and going abroad and going away from Man City. So yeah, I think he's
I
always
think
been
he
that kind
was-
of player. Like
he-
where he wouldn't mind going.
He was linked to Real Madrid for a hot minute. It wasn't for like a long time, but
I'd like to
but not
see him there.
not lately. It was a couple years ago.
I'd like
Yeah.
to see him there. Just the English player go to the Real Madrid specifically, and I
Yeah.
want to see if he can learn Spanish. That is the most interesting part of that I would want to see. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Sterling. Aston Villa Wolves. This game was looking to be a Midland derby.
The Midlands.
Midlands derby. Sorry, thanks for correcting me on that one. It looks like it was gonna go to Aston Villa's way, 2-0, but
Should've
then
gone.
80th minute struck, and that's where the stars aligned for Wolves.
Sure did.
First, you got the two center backs in Cody and
One of the
Thais.
defenders did.
It's such center back goals as well.
Such
It's just
center back,
scrappy, just
in the box.
tapping.
Yep. And then you have a Ruben Neves deflection. 2 deflected goals. So let's give the benefit of the doubt. 2 deflected goals. Ruben Neves free kick, and they win it at the 90th plus 5, 3-2. Wow. I didn't watch this game. I feel like we should have watched that game.
I mean, the other one was entertaining enough.
we'll get into it. Yeah. But
So we had a reason for it,
yeah.
but this would have been a phenomenal game to watch if it was a
Yeah.
different time.
That game is like the definition of too comfortable and also losing your head.
yeah. I mean, the last 15 minutes, you lost three goals.
It'd be like a phase of like, all right, we're 2-0 up, we're chilling,
Yeah.
comfortable, and then once we go 2-2, it was like, bro, we were
Switched
just
off.
we were just 2-0 up like
Yep.
2 minutes ago, and your head just it's over.
Yeah,
You're out of the game.
Yep. So yeah, that's that. And then Liverpool, I think, have convinced me. They are not my new favorites.
Oh, you changed it.
Yeah, just the way that Liverpool have been playing has just been so dominant, and Chelsea have slowly been looking a little bit less and less convincing. And I had Chelsea winning the whole thing. I had Liverpool in 4th. Now I'm actually like, I'm still having Chelsea top 2, but Liverpool, this game were just dominant. 5-0. Firmino Hattie ruined Ranieri's return. And then Salah, another goal of the season goal in a matter of 2 games in the Prem. What, Nick, one, as a Liverpool fan, are you, how confident are you going so far in this season? And I mean, I don't want you to jinx yourself, of course, but
Jinx yourself.
jinx yourself at the same time. And 2, is this Salah's year to win the Ballon d'Oro? Because I know we had a question about that, which we'll get into.
Like the 2022 or 2021.
Not the one that's going to be announced soon, but this year for next year.
Honestly, I think he can. It's just he have to win a trophy. He'd have to win in either Premier League or Champions League. And the reason why I think he can, because I think he's just gonna have an explosive season.
It looks like he is.
Where
So far, he has.
like what we saw in 2017 to 2018, he was just a goal machine. But
Wait,
now,
Will you break the record?
so he scored
31?
32. No, Was
He
it-
tied Ronaldo?
no, he
Oh,
broke.
he broke Ronaldo's, right?
Yeah, no. I think it was
Wait,
it was
not
Henri. He
No,
broke.
Ronaldo had the highest record.
No. Either way, he broke the record in 2017, 2018. But he was a goal machine that year.
yes.
But now he's almost was all right. So was Benzema always like a complete 9, or was he like?
no, he played more of a 10 or false 9-ish.
So
or
not
around
so now you see Benzema transitioning into
there. Full striker.
what you just said and having every facet of the game. Same thing with Salah. He was a goal machine that year, and now he's assisting. He's contributing on the defensive end. He's getting involved in the play, and he's scoring the goals. So on the Ballon d'Or question, I think he absolutely can. He just has to win the Champions League or Premier League. And on Liverpool, I just think it's just different football that I've been watching lately, especially from this team, and in a way that it's just a lot more fun to watch. Over these past couple of years, there's been a couple games where it's just like it's just so like sluggish. It's just pragmatic football. Just create barely any chances. Henderson crosses the ball from the half space 30 times a game, and it's just I'm very confident into going into every single game, judging off of what I see these past games. It's just nice football
It is.
that I've been watching. It's just free flowing.
It's looking like
It's just simple. It's just like
You guys won.
exactly. It's
It's
just
looking
free
like that.
flowing, simple football.
I'm really looking for this goal thing right now because now it's really bothering me. So keep talking to me as I look for this because it's gonna haunt me until
Talk to
I
me.
figure it out.
You mentioned Firmino Hattie. I think So we all know like he's considered like false nine. I feel like these past couple months, maybe years, he hasn't been playing that role really well. You know how we consider Firmino, like he drops in between the lines, he
Yeah,
picks
yeah.
up the ball, he looks up, he either spreads
He's
the
not a
ball
true
out.
nine, yeah.
Exactly. He's either spreads the ball out to Mane or Salah. I feel like Klopp should reintroduce him into a poacher role because when he does do that drop in between the line stuff, he doesn't do it well. He does not do it well anymore.
But that's okay. That's
Like-
what
like
I was
his-
there right now. That was his thing back. That
Yeah,
was what he
his
was
weight
known
of
for.
his weight of pass used to be crazy. Now it's just every pass he makes is just so like
Soft.
it's either too soft, too hard, and he's just not playing that role that we considered that he played before well. So I think Klopp should like
Start adjusting.
exactly reintroduce him into a poacher role that he did that game where it was 3 tap-ins.
Yeah.
So I mean, and his movement is brilliant. So I think if Klopp can kind of reintroduce him into a new role, kind of what Benzema did, but in a completely different way, I think he'll definitely be a key asset to the team.
Mohamed Salah, 32 goals with the record at the moment. Luis Suarez and Ronaldo and Alan Shearer with 31 goals.
Okay,
You
so
know what's
he has
crazy
record.
too with Suarez is that he missed 5 games that season
Yeah, he did. And,
because of the stuff that happened with.
Harry Kane, Van Persie, and Henry and Phillips with 30 goals. But yeah, Suarez missed hella games that season, so he would have definitely had the record
Yeah,
if that was the case. But yeah, man, Liverpool are just completely dominated again. You guys are looking like the champions Liverpool that we saw 3 seasons ago, both years.
and
ago.
I'm definitely not taking Van Dijk back for granted
well,
because
dude.
like last season I was just like, damn, there's no Van Dijk again for like a continuous 8 months. So it's now like every time I see Van Dijk on the team sheet, I'm like, all right, we definitely have a better chance of winning this game than what we did last year. And I'm definitely gonna enjoy watching him play because he's a ridiculous player.
He is by far the best center back in the world right now.
Yeah, like-
and there's certain players that if you take out of that team, they wouldn't have the success they have. And I think Van Dijk is one of those key players.
You remember that
Like this team is so uniquely built that you take one missing piece of that puzzle, it doesn't work.
You remember that thing you said last year when Arteta said Van Dijk pings a diagonal ball 60 yards out?
Yep.
It's just like his ability to just ping the ball out 60 yards, 70 yards,
He takes
whatever.
Everybody out of play.
Exactly.
Like
And it's-
every player in the midfield, once that ball goes over your head, you're trekking back.
exactly.
You're out of position, and you're automatically on the back foot. So that's the benefit of a player like Van Dijk, who's so dominant defensively and on the ball too. It's not like he's really good on the
Yeah,
ball.
like when we think of like ball playing center backs, like we think of players like who would you consider like a normal ball playing center back? Like a Laporte. Laporte's like a definition
Laporte.
of like a angle left center back, something that Pep would love.
Yeah.
But like when we think of those kind of players, like Van Dijk takes that to a different level. Just the way he's able to just create different angles and opportunities inside the game.
I'm gonna say he's like a rich man's Piqué.
Yeah, because Piqué never had he was good on the ball, but he was never he never Van Dijk is like a quarterback at defense. Piqué was never like that, but yeah, I can definitely see that little comparison.
So in other words, I should be saying Piqué is a poor man's Van Dijk.
Yeah, I probably would have Van Dijk over Piqué, but
I
Piqué
would- I
was
would.
yeah,
I
he was
would.
a I mean, he was-
look, Piqué has success, of course, but off of individual skill wise, I just can't think of anybody who's probably better than Van Dijk at the current moment.
Right.
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, having a player like that is immense, and you could see how it pays dividends every time. I mean, jeez, with one simple play, you automatically screw the other team over.
and I mean, you guys are mentioning like different passing. I want to move it to the midfield because Henderson in the 6th position at the DM, he offers something a lot more different to Fabinho because Fabinho distributing, he's not the best. And what I've noticed is that when Hendo plays the 6, they play really well because he's just better on the ball. He's just
Yeah.
better distributing. But with Fabinho, it's the opposite. So at times when Fabinho and Henderson play together, it's almost just like it's just too lackadaisical. It's just but when Hendo is at 6, you can definitely see a lot more free flowing football that we saw this past
Wait,
weekend.
I
Were
thought
gonna
you
say
had
something?
Hendo out.
No, but when he plays that 8 role,
Okay.
So
the
what-
eight
what
role.
Hendo
You
does is
prefer him
that-
at 6 and 8.
exactly.
Okay.
What Henderson does is, I don't know if you guys like, so he passes the ball out to Trent, and then Trent passes the ball to him, and then Henderson's in like the half space, and he one times the cross every single time to the back post. He does that at least 20 times a game, and it
That's-
pisses me off. And he's been horrid at the 8th position
Oh, okay.
this season, but he's really good at the 6th position.
Oh, okay. So I mean, yeah. Look, each position is finding the right balance for the team, and the club just has so many different players that you can plug in at any time and find a different formula or a different tactic, different output. And I think all players that Liverpool have complement each other. So it's just great. You guys are in a unique period in your history right now. So definitely enjoy it.
For real.
Dude, I mentioned that last Christmas. I was like to Eddie, and it's funny because after I mentioned it, it started the downhill. I'm like, Eddie, it was after the Liverpool won against Crystal Palace away 7-0, and it was like my mom's birthday, and I'm like, yo, Eddie, I'm gonna join this team now because I know every team has their peak and then eventually a fall off. And it happened literally the next game because they drew against West Brom at home.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it was kind of, I don't take this team for granted because I know in a couple years, it's
gonna be a different
yeah,
team.
exactly.
It's gonna be Newcastle. It's always gonna be Chelsea because all they do is throw money at everything they need. But and Man City as always. But yeah, we'll see. Now we can take it to I think the highlight of the weekend. Is there any final thoughts you want to have on the game?
Oh no.
Yeah, highlight of the weekend. Leicester 4, Manchester United 2.
That was so close, man.
Hey, wait, what'd you predict?
I said
3-2.
I said 3-2 or 4-3
To who?
to Matt,
To
and then Matt Leicester winning it, and then Matt said if it's 4-3, that I would receive his last matches, and it ended up being 4-2. So I never received it. Matt, you always saw me a text.
Yeah, for real.
But I was like, I texted you guys, right? I'm like, I was this close to being right.
I mean, this game in the first Matt, no, I think the first maybe 15, 20 minutes, it was already built to be a banger.
A KG. It was gonna be
Oh
like a
man, with that Greenwood banger, the left foot.
dude.
right
He
in the
is
corner.
something different, bro.
Oh.
Like we always mention it, like
He's good,
like,
man.
yeah, he is
He's
very
good.
very talented, and I just feel like he has to be like there has to be more like light on him by the manager and by the club.
Well, we'll talk about the manager in a bit because he's definitely under some scrutiny. But yeah, to your point, Greenwood does the team. Like I think you're right. I don't know if you're saying this, but the way I'm interpreting it is that they just are building around Greenwood.
Yes.
Young, solid player, both like double-footed, and he has a shot. I mean, that goal was a beaut. And just a few minutes later, we see a wonder chip from Tielemans.
Was that meant?
100%.
You think so?
I know that.
What do you think, Marco?
I think so. Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
it looks like
he kept on doing it throughout the game,
Because he did a no look and he just like, I
and
can't
that's
see.
those are his type of goals too.
That's a Tielemans kind of goal. Yeah, you're right. So once that goal went in, you knew it was gonna be like they were saying it was gonna be a KG game, and it was definitely was a KG game. But I mean, before we get into the goal that Tielemans scored, we have to talk about Maguire because I don't want to shit on him right now, but he had a horrible game. Now, is this
I don't want to shit on him, but
well, I mean, the reason why I say it is because he was injured
yeah,
beforehand.
he wasn't expected to play.
He wasn't expected. And do you think it was the wrong call in allowing him to play, knowing that you're playing against the Leicester side, who, although they haven't been in the greatest form, they could on their day they could still, again have a result like this.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like they balanced it, right? Injured or versus a young somebody that they don't trust or they don't feel like has gotten that much time,
Well,
right?
Lindelof and Bay.
and by
Yeah, but
They-
that combo hasn't worked for them in the past.
Sure.
So it was like, okay, so do we risk it, or do we? What do you think it's gonna let us down less?
What's gonna let us down less?
they-
That's what
they-
I think about it.
I mean, fuck, bro. Did they get it right? I feel like honestly, like
What's gonna let us down less? What's gonna be better for us? What's gonna let us down
no,
less?
bro. I think they kind of knew, like, walking into it, like this wasn't a game that they were gonna easily win, and at least in my eyes, of course.
Well, no game
Please,
is
Man
easy,
United
man.
fans can say otherwise, but to me, it was like that because they knew that they were gonna have the struggle in the back. Maguire's not 100%. The two defenders that they have in hand aren't their most trustworthy defenders. So they said, "Fuck it, let's see if we can help out Maguire wherever we can." And at the end of the day, it didn't work out.
Yeah, Maguire was shambolic this game. With that first goal being his fault, and the last goal from Daka, I also would put it on him because
Froze.
he just froze. He just let him walk around him, like behind him, and just tapped it in. Boom.
And I was gonna say like this could have been a lot worse. And
Oh, De Gea.
I needed to say shout out to De Gea for the phenomenal game he had.
I mean, he let four in.
It's 4 in, yes, but
they weren't his fault.
But it was a lot more opportunities that they had in goal, and he blocked them, and he had a really good save.
He's in the form of his life right now again. Like this season, he's
from how much we shitted
good.
on him in the past 2 seasons of not having a form and saying that he should leave and all this other shit. This season,
I will say he did put Maguire in an iffy situation. That first goal, like that pass that he made to him was kind of a hospital pass. He put the pressure on himself there, so he can't paint himself in glory, but he is in the very, 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 very good form right now. His saves are prime De Gea right now. But yeah, Nick.
Yo, random question, but like, how do you get on form as a goalie?
How do you get?
Like,
it's all mental, man.
Like, do you think it's just you have to face a lot of shots, or like I always
mental.
like
it's because like, and I think Tim Howard put it best in one of his recent things. He said, sometimes as a goalie, when you fuck up, you try too hard and then you fuck up again and you just keep trying. Sometimes it's just best to like, all right, you know what? I fucked up. Understand that and just keep playing your game. But sometimes goalies, when they're in a bad rut, they just keep trying too hard and then they don't play like themselves. They don't play confidently. They don't come out for the ball that they would usually come out for. You know, and it's just all a matter of confidence and mentality for goalkeepers.
But that's a mental game.
Yeah, reflexes. You train in goal. You train in goal. At the end of the day, is how confident. And to me, that's. I feel confidence is the most important attribute to a goalkeeper, because one, if you come out and then you second guess yourself, you're fucked. That's it. It's a goal. But if you're gonna commit and you have that confidence to commit or that confidence to stand tall, whatever it is, then you're gonna do that and you're gonna get whatever result you get out of it. But if there's no confidence and there's no that strong mentality, then you're not gonna be in form. So that's what I think. I would
agree.
ask Josh Palacio or something, maybe a goalie. I don't know. I mean, Alisson had like some bad ruts. And
he had a
himself out of it.
exactly. Yeah, I was just like, how do you go from like, damn, a terrible mistake, and then just like 2 games later, you're in the form of your life.
Remember Alisson last season? He had like those 2.
It was against Leicester.
Yeah, against Leicester.
Against Leicester.
I mean,
he picks it back up. Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely a mental thing.
I think goalkeeper have it hardest because they don't remember the ones you save, but they remember the ones that you let past you though. You know, so I give goalkeepers a lot of leeway because I feel for them. But Nick, I want to ask you about Sancho. There were I think you were saying before the podcast that there's some reports saying that they're not too happy with maybe not.
We don't know if it's true because
possibility.
Possibility, but
rumor has it.
For people who don't know, this reporter Duncan Castles came out saying that people inside Man United's camp, the manager, and also Man United players, that there was mentioning how they're very not satisfied with Sancho in training and in games. So it's kind of weird because he's just came into the league and you're already seeing that pressure on him. And not even from the media. Like, we see players coming in from the league, the media and fans. Like, this is, if it is true, this is pressure within the club.
Mm-hmm.
He's only played 8 games. He's not 007 anymore. He's
008.
008. And that's like, it's so little games. And there's already, if it is true, the pressure within the club.
Is it the price tag? Is it the name? What is it? Or is the pressure that the club are feeling? Like, why do you think Sancho is expected to automatically be producing?
First of all, it's obviously the price tag, and also they've been chasing him for almost 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So since they didn't get him last year in the summer, they already thought last summer this guy is the guy. Since they got him now, they expect him to be
the guy.
Exactly. And I mean, obviously it's still early, but he hasn't been that guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sancho has not been performing like.
But I'm sure we'll get into the manager because I think that's a huge effect on the on Sancho because of the manager.
Yes. So I mean, honestly, let's get into it because the manager took Sancho out. He put in Rashford. Rashford got the goal.
Correct.
We were just listening to reports right now. Apparently, Ollie made some comments last week that now that Rashford has gotten all these accomplishments outside of the football, which huge congratulations to him. He is doing amazing work. But apparently, Ollie said something about like he has to focus on football, prioritizing yada yada yada, whatever. I don't want to take anything out of context, but David Ornstein reported that Rashford and his camp aren't happy with the comments that were made. So, again, Nick, you were just saying Sancho's probably not in the best situation with the manager right now. It looks like Ollie has another thing to deal with the Rashford situation. He just lost to Leicester. I think they've lost how many games? They got 1 point out of the last
3
games
against Everton.
Yeah. And Ronaldo is on the team. Let's not forget that. And they have Atalanta coming up this week in Champions League. And they have a rough run of games coming up. I don't even know where to take this direction. But I'm going to try this conversation because it looks like that United aren't just in a weird situation because we all had them as title contenders in the beginning of the season. But now it looks like they're just kind of in turmoil. Pogba came out, making claims that they got to figure it out, the tactic, they got to get it right. That to me is that they got Ollie.
I'm just noticing now that we consider Ole a good player manager. There's a lot of players like Rashford, Sancho. If it is true, Rashford, Sancho, and Pogba, and that's 3 key players. I mean, they're phenomenal players, and you've seen what Ole maybe has to say about them, or maybe what he has to think about them. So it's just it's interesting because we see Ole as a player manager, and this is kind of going on in the background.
If what Matt is saying is true, and all his backroom staff are getting contracts, and he's the one that's due next, is this the right move for Manchester to keep Ole around? Did he get them the furthest he can get them? What is the right step, in your opinion? Don't try to be unbiased as much as you can, but what do you think is the right move for United to do at this point?
If I wanted to be biased, I'd say keep him. But,
okay.
But I'm trying to be and I think this is as far as Ollie really can go.
Damn.
He is. I don't see him being a Champions League coach winner or a Premier League. Even though I keep on saying that this is the year because technically this should be their year, but maybe not under his guidance.
So you think let's say, for example, and it is, of course, we're just playing what ifs and hypotheticals.
Of course.
But if they had, for example, let's say, give me a good coach, not in the Premier League, outside of the league.
Okay.
Conte?
I was going to say Conte,
if they had Conte.
Ancelotti, or even Allegri. Allegri was
if they had Conte.
Yeah. I mean, this team could have won it. Could have won something, at least a big chip.
So it looks like the better that United have gone on paper, the worse they've gone on the field.
Yeah, because the thing is, the excuse was always they're missing this, they're missing that.
So the better they've gone with players, the worse they've gone on the field.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because of
the pressure?
And it's definitely pressure.
I think Ollie is now out of his depths. I think his job was to get the team afloat, bring them above water, get them into top 4, which he did. And then once they signed Ronaldo, once they signed Varane, once they signed Sancho, it all became a lot more real. Like, okay, now I gotta win.
Is Diego still Ole in?
I don't know. I haven't asked him because I don't want to I don't want him to think I'm trolling him or anything. But I do want. I'm kind of curious as to what he does think. I'm pretty sure he's an Ole in guy. I don't think he'll ever say any manager out. He's always gonna support the manager in place. I really don't know what he thinks right now. But if you're a United fan, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know in DM us. Let us know, because I'm really curious to see what fans are for Ollie, what fans are against Ollie, because it looks like he's starting to split the fan base as well. I think more towards one side than the other at the moment. But yeah, man, when you sign those kind of players, the pressure's on.
And I think he's lived with the pressure because he knew they didn't have the team yet.
Yeah.
Now that he had the team, now it's real.
Yeah.
now it's okay. What can you do with these stars? Because you're bringing in big caliber players
Oh,
with
huge.
Ronaldo, Varane, Champions League, and
World
Varane. You have World Cup winner, and then an up and coming player with Sancho. So you have a big pressure of you using all of them and start winning, and it doesn't look that way. So to me, we can have this conversation in a couple of months. I think this is last season.
Ooh. So, so he lasts the entire season, you think?
Yeah, I can see him last. I think again, it's the same thing with Newcastle. The difference is that I think Man United doesn't have to worry about the relegation zone.
All right, so you heard it here first. Marco is calling it. This is
All this last season.
Ollie's last season. Ollie, enjoy your last ride on the at the wheel because it won't be for too much longer. That is all we have for today. Thank you so much for sticking around. Really appreciate you guys. Again, please give us a follow and like all that good stuff on our socials. Again, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch at Benchwarmers FC1. Sorry, TikTok. Twitch is Benchwarmers FC. Hit the follow, the notification bell, send us a message. Let us know when you want to jump on the bench and share your voice because we want to share it. We want to hear what team you support. We want to hear the banter you have towards us. I'm talking like about Arsenal as if they're in top 4. We're barely even in
12.
top.
Under below 10, I think. So 12, yeah.
So yeah, come give us banter and we'll give it right back. But with all that being said, we are the Benchers, the bench with the voice. Any final thoughts?
No, sir.
Well, the
bench
bench
is
is always warm.
Yeah, what he said. Peace.